Hello friends, foes, family. I didn't want to say fuckers, but I'm saying fuckers. This week's show is brought to you by Soho Office Space. Soho Office Space is awesome. Personally, I've worked in a multitude of co-working spaces, and these guys have totally hit the mark. Not only with their community team, but the whole joined up togetherness, if that's even a phrase, of their offering, despite the fact they have multiple office locations, really brings and accentuates a genuine community vibe I've not experienced anywhere else before. Also, if you're just an individual trying to build an empire, or a bigger scale-up company looking for a solid yet connected workspace for your staff and even for yourself, these guys are it. Not forgetting the fact that every Wednesday they really like to cook up an awesome lunch and share that with everyone, which is such a nice little touch. And they have got a brand new location on the Strand, which for those that are not in Malta, is in Slima, which has got an incredible and ginormous roof terrace. So I know exactly where I'm going to be this summer, burning my bald head and working. So if you guys are interested, please go to www.sohomalta.com/dosed for discounts and any inquiries. So Stephen, hey man.
Hey guys.
Hey. I have seen you recently now. I don't have to keep saying I haven't seen you in ages.
Yeah.
Because I now I'm seeing you more.
First time.
So I'm not going to ask how you are. I'm going to say, how are you feeling? How are you feeling this week?
A little bit groggy.
And why is that?
But I'm fine. Just took a 2-hour nap. Supposed to be an hour. And then I woke up and I raced down here. And
we're a little bit late.
The podcast.
And what have you been up to this week?
So I've been entertaining quite a few people in work. There is people over from the US, and we had some party last night, and we're going to have another party tonight.
Sounds terrible.
No, it's good problems. Good problems to have.
I'm trying to think what I've been doing. So I've had a couple of things going on, I guess. I know I keep plugging this, but why not? Obviously, we're working on Few quite a bit this week. And for anyone that's trying to build stuff, it's probably maybe relatable. One of our main guys, he's had a family thing, so it's kind of taking him off the tools. So it's kind of added a bit of anxiety, and I think I'm the type of individual that I like to entrust people and go, okay, cool, you get it done, but by doing so, you can become a bit detached at times, which probably isn't always a good thing. So, and then I start worrying, like, oh shit, okay, we need to get this delivered, we need to get this out by March. So, fuck. I'm kind of internalizing a lot of it. So then what I've actually done is taken a step back and I've gone back into it and got really, really involved. So attending the stand-ups, driving the delivery, which actually been really not only insightful, but it just means then I can then see the problems and help solve them. Because I think that's, again, we're always self-profiling, but it's kind of a skill that, that's awkward, a skill that I've kind of picked up, realised that maybe I have. Basically, but so that's been a bit testing, but that's cool. And then I've been doing some. So obviously, I'm quite hot on gut health. Mm-hmm. It's my thing, I think. Your thing is chemicals.
Chemicals, research chemicals.
Drugs.
You can call it that too.
Good drugs. So there was a really interesting a bit of news that was released a couple of days ago about gut health, and its links to so many things that we've covered already on the show. I'm just going to read it. I'll summarise, but basically highlighting that probiotics have already been identified in published studies as providing an ability to help alleviate allergy symptoms. Now the same can confidently be said for regulating mental health. So some of the most extensive research into human microbiome has revealed that the diversity of certain bacterial species in your gut can help sometimes significantly with many of the most commonly diagnosed mental disorders such as depression, anxiety, and PTSD. It's really, really important. And it just kind of goes on to kind of highlight the two main
Microbiome?
Compounds, maybe protein. I think it's the protein of the compound. I should probably know this. I'm just going to find out now. The two most important proteins, anyway, are L-casein and L-acidophilus, which can be found in supplements. So I've personally I've been taking probiotics for quite a while now. I've kind of come off them a bit now because I feel like my immunity is brilliant. Although I'm about to travel next week, so coronavirus, leave me alone. But it does highlight that, and I'm sorry, vegans, but these two compounds are found, are basically common microbes. Oh, sorry, they're microbes. It's in front of me. The common microbes that are found in raw or unpasteurized cheeses or yogurts, or in pasteurized dairy products which have been cultured. So it's, for those that aren't big on taking supplements and things, get out there and eat your cheese. Everyone loves cheese.
Kimchi and sauerkraut as well are two very good foods for the microbiome. It's fermented cabbage.
It's nice though.
Is German and
you have it on a hot dog. It's very nice. Yeah. There's also when I was away when I was in Mexico, I was having loads of because I was there for a wedding initially, and 5 days on a resort with all your friends is not great for your anything on your body, gut health, mental health, or just your alcohol levels. And I think probably because when you're on an all-inclusive resort, they just give you the absolute dregs because they think, well, they're not going to know anyway, or not going to care. So they just try and get you drunk as quickly as possible during the day. So they give you like rum that's like 70% proof. So no wonder your guts are like just dying, or your throat is stripped days afterwards. So I was in bits when we got to Tulum. And then I was taking kombucha tea every day. Oh, it's so good. And I don't know if do you know how they make kombucha?
No.
So it's actually quite simple. It's a mixture of white and black tea, and it just you put it in a vacuum sealed. Obviously, make it quite. I think we use 10 bags. Put it in a vacuum tank, and then it has this jelly that film comes on the top of it called. I can't think of it, what it's called. And it just basically kind of seals all the good bacteria in, and then keeps the bad bacteria out, and then it ferments. It starts becoming fizzy, and it's packed full of like incredible bacteria. And within we had a bit of a power cut in Malta, which is unexpected. But we're gonna, in the true spirit of podcasting, I'm just going to carry on, and I'm pretty sure I was talking about kombucha tea, how to make it. I'm not an expert yet, but I know it takes about 9 days, and is incredibly good for your health. And it worked wonders for me. My absolutely ruined gut and the whole system, let's say, after a 5-day bender with my mates with it. So kombucha tea, go you. Anyway, so we should probably get on with the show and stop chatting shit. I am delighted to introduce a guy called Ferdinand Mo. It's basically the French Thor. I didn't know whether to shake his hand or shag him when I met him. Oh yeah. But he's going to be talking about basically the Wim Hof method, the changes that. By practicing it, the changes it made on his own life, and also the impact that had on the people around him. He's also going to talk about the Wim Hof method and basically the benefits. So, Ferdinand, hi.
Hello, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you for the invitation.
No problem. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, my pleasure, guys. It's a very nice setup. We're on here. Very good.
Apart from the power cuts, we're almost there.
Man, that's Malta. We are used to it. And in fact, I heard some good news from you, Jamie, about cheese. I will double my camembert diet, you know?
Oh, cheese. That's it. As long as it's pasteurised or unpasteurised. But yeah, it's good for gut health, so get on the cheese. Yeah, obviously there's a lot to talk about, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you know Stephen. You mentioned quite a bit to him already, but I think it'd be rather than delving straight in, it would probably be good to give for those that don't know who Wim Hof is.
Sure.
Probably good to give a bit of background on him. I know a fair bit. All I know a fair bit, but it's not about me. So, so why don't you kind of give us a background on him, and then we can maybe kind of delve into how that's had an impact on you and go from there.
Sure, guys. So Wim Hof, basically, it's a guy who did struggle with a lot of difficulties in his life, with his ex-wife, who committed suicide as well. She had some mental issue that he always tried to solve and he didn't manage. The doctor were not able to help her neither. So after the death of his wife, basically he really crashed, apparently with alcohol. I'm just sharing the information that I got from him, but he really crashed deeply. He used to drink a lot of alcohol and feeling very depressed. And fortunately, his kids kept him going through life. But what really saved him is the practice of the breathing and also the different exposure to the cold. So it just started like that, in fact. This guy just jumped in the cold water in Netherlands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was already a crazy guy before. You can see that easily on YouTube. He was doing crazy stunts, already before, but it just started by appreciating the benefits of the cold on his mind, and his feelings were starting to get better. So,
and he was he previously in the circus? I think I read. Is that right?
To be honest, I have no idea. I didn't stalk.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
But Jamie's a stalker, guys. But it just started from there, and in fact, he didn't create, let's say, the breathing technique. There's a lot of Indian technique, and it comes from many different places about breath work. Yeah. But he just managed to gather informations and to build something that was simple and working for everyone. Mm-hmm. And that's from it all started.
And where did going from the point, and I don't know how much you know about this, but from the point where he discovered what worked for him, getting to the point where he was like, okay, well, I want to share this. And I know that you started doing some things on TV or maybe.
Sure. So basically, where Wim Hof made a difference is that he always, once he started to feel the benefits of this practice, and he started to share it with people around him and see that there was many benefits, his goal was not just to speculate on the benefits of his method. He really wanted to be approved by science. I think that's one of the, in English you say milestone. I don't know if it makes sense. Yeah, milestone. That he did compared to many other people who were already doing breath work. I mean, everyone, guys, were aware that cold water is good for you. It's not something new. But he definitely made a huge change on what is really working and how with science. Mm-hmm. And this is from where it's all started properly, I believe.
Wow. Okay. So before, so it's good intro on Wim Hof, and I know one of the things he has done, he did a half marathon barefoot, no tops on, in the Arctic Circle, with and no side effect. No, the ordinary person will have no feet left. And I think these are one of the. I think it was on Netflix, I believe. So follow him
on Netflix now. You just had recently a documentary from Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know how you say in English, guys. But to be fully honest, you can find much more quality content on YouTube, and everything is easily to reach. Every content is easily reachable, and He's doing tons of records, guys. Like I think he owned 18 different world records. Maybe he lost some of them since, but I knew that overall he did own 18 guys, and he's 67, something like that.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Crazy guy.
So let's talk about you for a minute, shall we? So you're French, obviously.
Yeah.
You're in Malta right now. So how did you get to Malta in the first place?
Man, long story short. So when I always wanted to live abroad. I never really liked France, but I think at that time I would have never liked any country anyway.
Where in France?
So I'm born in Paris, but I did my study in the west side, and then I moved to the south for a little bit.
Okay.
I used to work in Bulgaria, in Sofia, for the beautiful application TripAdvisor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, in fact, my cousin, the guy who introduced me to the Wim Hof method, Leandre, for the record, he told me, Ferdinand, what are you doing in Bulgaria? You know, it's Malta, there is sun, there is woman, there is money. Bro, what the fuck are you doing in Malta? Sorry, in Bulgaria. So come over here. And so I just like moved. In fact, I just came here. My English was rubbish, much more than it's already rubbish now. But it was even worse. I was in debt as well, a little bit, you know, maybe minus few K and few thousand. And man, I just managed to find a job. And 3 years after, I was manager, team leader for a few online casinos.
Casinos, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is basically an industry that, man, if you want to make money, it works well, huh?
Yeah.
But if you want to feel good in the long run, I don't think that it's the best place to work for a long time, like for a lifetime. And now I'm here, guys. I'm not working there anymore, and I'm fully practicing the Wim Hof method.
Okay, nice. And I saw a video that Stephen shared on your own YouTube channel, just talking about your own life and how you stumbled across this. Like I said, your cousin introduced it to you. And was it before or after? That's when you came back and said, "That's it. I'm quitting it."
Man, it's. I think my life is not that special. I think many people are living or feeling that way nowadays. Is that all my life I really felt that the world was rubbish, was shit, and I always felt that I deserve better. I had a massive ego. I was considering everyone like everyone is a loser, you know. I'm the best.
That's just because you're from Paris, though, right? Just joking, I love Paris.
I mean, I cannot blame him for saying that, guys. I will just close my eyes and it's true that it should for sure it's a French thing as well. So, but I had this definitely, and so I was thinking that I was the best. But on the other hand, I never been happy. So I went through life doing okay life on paper, you know, like a master degree. I always managed to find a job. I had friends. But deep inside, I always hated life. I never see the point. I always felt like we were going straight into the wall as well. So you can include, of course, guys, drugs use, alcohol use, women as well. Like I used to just see women to feel better, you know. And man,
so kind of trying to seek satisfaction in other things rather than yourself.
Definitely, man, escaping this life that I was feeling trapped from. And on top of that, because I had this massive ego, I was sure that society didn't grab me, you know. I was like, man, I'm above this society bullshit. I totally understand what they're doing, and I'm above that. And since not a very long time, in fact, I just realized how deeply the society impacted me, and how my daily choices and the things I loved and didn't love, and it was really drove also by the society. And it's been a year and in a few months now that I'm really practicing this method deeply. I met Wim Hof a couple of times in Iceland and Thailand, and man, these things is deeper than just, you know, going into the cold and breathing. It's
Maybe keep it at high level to start with. But talk us through, as someone that pretend I'm your grandma. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know Wim Hof. I don't know the methods. Talk me through the basics and
sure.
and how to start practicing.
Man, the goal is to make your brain your own bitch. No, it sounds very bad to say like that, but it's definitely the ultimate goal. So basically, the breathing. I'm not gonna go. I know, guys, you're a fan of chemicals. I will leave this part to you, but that's Steven's part. But the breathing, guys, it's without even speaking about the benefits of the meditation state. If you're practicing the Wim Hof breathing, it will trigger the hypoxia. It's the same reaction that your body has when you're training or just walking in mountains when you have a lack of oxygen.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, because basically you're alternating between like over breathing and retaining your breath.
Like hyperventilating.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then you're retaining your breath. So as you said, hyperventilating, like you're really like pushing this oxygen and air inside your lungs.
Can you give me an example?
Definitely. So
for 10 seconds.
Of course, yeah. So you do fully in, let it go. Relax, guys. Fully in, let it go. Fully in, let it go. Keep going. Okay, 5 times more. Relax. All right, fully in, let it go, and stop. Just feel good, guys.
I guess it's is it a way of, because you have stagnant air, right, that sits at the bottom of your lungs. Is it a way of flushing that and replenishing it with new air, or? I
was definitely waiting for a technical question. So, to be honest, I have no idea, guys. I'm not a doctor, and I have no willing to go into this area. What I know, guys, is that you are pumping your body with oxygen. Mm-hmm. You are opening, like your lungs. This oxygen, you are really like pushing it into your veins, and your body became what they call alkaline. So basically, your acidity level in your body is dropping. Mm-hmm. So the pH is increasing and the acidity is dropping.
Acidity in the body is the big is one of the main drivers for inflammation.
Man, exactly, definitely. And so just by doing that, basically, without even speaking about like the benefits of the breathing, you're just making your body less acidic. So your immune system is already much more stronger because the virus, whatever it is, cannot get into it.
Mm-hmm. I asked you this question before. I asked, maybe it's something where it helps you switch into the moment because we're so distracted about thinking about the past and the future. But I think you mentioned it's just like naturally stressing the body, and that really resonated with me.
So the stress part, it's more the cold exposure part. So the breathing, basically, so by triggering the hypoxia, which makes your body, develop new veins. It will make your body develop more blood cells. Mm-hmm. So, of course, like including a lot of benefits through that. Now, the cold exposure, which is mainly done through ice bath, cold shower, or getting into the snow if you have snow around you, this is just reflecting a stressful situation for your mind and body. Mm-hmm. So, you guys know that a lot of athletes are doing ice bath and things like that for muscle recovery. And with the Wim Hof method, we are not really focusing on the muscle recovery. We are more focusing on okay, how do I deal with this stressful situation? So you can start with 2 minutes in the ice, then you're increasing as much as you want. Of course, always in a safe way, but basically, when you're in the ice or in the shower or whatever, the goal is to set your mind. When you set your mind for doing something, it will trigger hormones. When you visualize what you're gonna do.
So whilst you're in, say as a beginner, to build up to, instead of jumping straight into an ice bath and then going, fuck it, I'm not doing that again. So maybe a nice big nice light touch or to start the trajectory is to start with a cold shower. Really. So you're saying in that cold shower, so for 2 minutes, I would then visualize X. I want this to happen. So then that's when you visualize it. Is that what you're saying?
The visualization, you can do it before. What you have to do is to not like shock your body. You know, when I'm doing breathing and ice with the guys to introduce new people to this method, I'm always saying, guys, like, okay, it's fine. We can do 5 minutes ice bath in the first time. It's fine, but do not shock your body because we are playing with the mind. We are not here to like recover our muscle. We are here to train our mind and to show him who is the boss. So if you stay in the ice for 6 minutes, it's already great. You never did that before. Well done, bro. But if you stay longer because you are like, okay, I can do more, the only thing you're going to do is to teach your brain that, okay, going into the ice is very dangerous. And he will not want you to go in anymore.
Okay.
So we go slowly, gradually, we increase. The goal is to feel good, guys.
Yeah. It seems like, the more I think about it, it just seems like this is natural for the primitive being, our great ancestors. And really what we're doing today is, we're just sitting in our desks on our laptop. We're not getting really much exercise, but this is taking it to the next level.
Have you seen the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant?
Sounds familiar.
When he's in the snow.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, sadly.
So, guys, the movie on itself doesn't really matter, but it's reflecting the life that they had at that time in this situation. Guys, he's just in the snow the whole movie. And people were doing that, without even considering that they might get frostbite, and your brain knew that which kind of hormones he had to give them to feel okay. Yeah. Because even me, guys, I would freak out if I had to spend my whole entire life in the snow. And I think Wim Hof would freak out as well, But those guys had a brain that, they were just dealing with it. And I think they had some happiness as well,
Yeah, simply just surviving, really. I've seen some things with Wim Hof online where he's proven to doctors that he can overcome certain diseases with his immune system. So it makes me kind of speculate, like, the things that we're doing today obviously maybe aren't the best practices for our health, and doing this type of methodology might actually increase our immune systems and health.
Definitely. The experience that Wim Hof did, he trained 12 guys for a few days. I think it was 3 days or almost just 3 days. And then they injected those 12 guys with, I think it's E. coli, not coronavirus, guys. Huh?
Oh, wow.
That's the next experience. That will be the next one.
It's E. coli.
I think it's E. coli.
Which is really fast reactive. So what's linked to raw chicken and stuff. If E. coli is on it, then immediately you are violently sick for like a day or two.
Yeah, I don't want to say something wrong, but I think
you're right.
Yeah.
I think it is very long.
And so those 12 guys just like apply the technique that Wim Hof was teaching them. And so I don't want to get too much into details, but basically it's just breathing, guys. It's just breathing, you breathe past the conditioning. So you're breathing more, you're oxygenating your body. And those guys, man, the results were incredible. Like the molecule of the E. coli didn't really affect them. No fever, no, shivering, no sweat, like cold sweat, nothing.
Was that because they visualized the virus being in them and they channeled it out? How did they?
I wish I was there when Wim Hof taught them, but basically, if I understood well, and I think I did, it's like the mind. You set your mind, you know that you're strong and you know that you're going to beat that molecule, and the breathing. You're breathing, you keep on breathing as much as you need to. If you start to feel getting a little bit low, boom, you keep on breathing again and again. I even saw, I read that in a book, one guy who had like his arm broken, and basically, so he had the surgery like everyone else, and the doctor said, okay, let's meet in 3 days, just to check up if everything is fine. And this guy breathes for 5 hours a day, so doing like a proper breath work for 5 hours during these 3 days. And when he came back to see the doctor, the surgeon was like, how come, guys? Like, the stitches were already, there was just the fillers, but the wound was already. I don't know if it's a wound. The scar was already. The skin was back.
Really? Wow.
And those things, guys, is just because when you're pumping your body and your mind and it's triggering those hormones, man, your body reacts differently. You can withstand the cold, you can withstand some like virus molecules, and probably deal better as well with injuries.
I think it goes down to, again, I'm not a doctor, the stress, how you mentioned earlier about putting your body under so much stress, because then the cells begin to regenerate because it realizes, okay, shit, we need you. Or we need everything in this system in our body to be able to battle this or defeat this or get through this. Because that's even now linked to intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, I'm now trying to do actually. And it's meant to be, if you can go, I think above 16 hours a day of intermittent fasting,
16,
then your immune system is just through the roof, and you can really feel like Ferdinand and I were saying earlier, this, even though he looks like a Greek god, he doesn't even go to the gym. And I was saying, actually, I even found by going to the gym maybe just once a week, and I'm not going to give you my Instagram on air, but on my Instagram picture, one of my Instagram pictures, I look incredible. I was like, wow, I've got abs. I actually look really good, really impressed actually. So, and that's pure, not by overtraining. It's actually just by eating good food when it goes in me, and also the intermittent fasting, which puts your body under that stress. So there's obviously something there.
I mean, the stress is really interesting. It sounds like you're kind of tricking your immune system to gather more troops. Like, an army, is like, it's a similar concept within your body. Like with cancers, they say, it works as like two armies. Like if the cancer has more troops than your own immune system, it's going to lose. But if you can trick it and train it, like you're probably doing, that's why you can get to these next levels of, well, you call it a super immune system. I don't know the scientific names, but that's what it sounds like to me.
First of all, Jamie, thank you very much for the compliment. I just want to mention something is that right now we are three guys in a room and we are all healthy and in good shape and we are looking all amazing, but everyone can do it. There is really like no restriction. Of course, guys, no restriction in bracket, like pregnant women, these kind of things. I'm not speaking about some kind of specification. I'm speaking about like the 90% of the people. Everyone can do it. And look how beautiful you look when you're coming back from a nice holiday. Like you had good hormones during a week. You're looking amazing. Your skin is beautiful. Like your teeth are white. You feel fresh. And what if we are hacking our mind to trigger those hormones and those molecules from home? Because I understand that not everyone can go all in, and go into caveman mode for a month. I get that. Everyone has his daily life and his own issue. But we can, right now, with just a bathroom and a bed, to even a floor to lay down and breathe a little bit, you can already do amazing results.
I agree. So let's go back into your background. And so you came back. So when you said it was what was your cousin's name again?
Leandre.
Leandre. Sorry, Leandre. So you came back from Iceland, and previously you had, on paper, you had this great life.
Yeah.
Your job, great job. You've done you had a girlfriend. So what in your, and then you said you were like, fuck it, I'm out.
Man.
So what was the trigger that made you? Why did you change, and what were the ramifications of that?
So I already in the past, it's on my YouTube channel. Like when I was 20, like 22, like I tried to face death just to see if I wanted to be alive, basically. So I always had a bit like this destructive mindset, or at least trying to find a way to go through life. And what happened last year, it's very recent, in fact. My life was reaching a point where I had a great job on paper. Man, I was not doing a lot, but I was really feeling again, useful, you know, I had a team of guys to train, we were making tons of money. My girlfriend, beautiful woman, very smart and super fun. I was living in Malta, I had a nice flat, I had a Vespa, you know, like everything was perfect, you know. And when you reach this, let's say, kinda point where I'm like, I'm not gonna work more to get a new bike, or I just feel unhappy. What the fuck is that shit? Like, I'm like, I did all these hours in the office, all this, you know, learning things that are really unuseful. For what? For that?
Just for materials.
Yeah, like there is no point, you know. Like I'm not gonna. I was 26 years old. I was like, I still have 80 or like say 70 years to go. There is no fucking way that I'm spending my life like that. Like there is no point. So at that time, I had like 20K in my bank account, and I was like, my girlfriend was. Unfortunately, we just discovered recently like she has a little bit of an emotional trouble because of her past. We just discovered that last month. But basically, our relationship were getting very, very bad. We loved each other, but the situation was very bad. So I needed to leave her. And so if I needed to leave her, it was the right time to leave my job and Malta. So in 1 week, guys, I told her that I had to go. I said my job that I had to go, and I booked plane tickets. And I just left. And I was like, man, such a big ego, such a huge ego I had, man. I was like, I'm gonna smash it. And I was doing trading at the time, like I was making a bit of money from this on the side. Okay, yeah, crypto, if someone is interested. And man, I just arrived in France. I went back to my family place, which I didn't really see since 4 years, since I was in Malta. And you have to know that with my parents, we never really connect. I know they love me, but we didn't really. And where they live, man, I cannot stand it. Where they live, it's a countryside, like whatever. It's I'm sure some people will love it, but I don't. And I was feeling so proud of myself to have done all that. And you know, I come home and man, a week or a month later, I just crashed. Like I crashed badly. Like I stopped breathing the Wim Hof method. I just drink all day. Smoking weed, you know, like depression, man. But like,
well, because you had no purpose, or what was the?
I think it was the backfire, you know, of like, I was not happy in the life I had, but I was feeling useful, you know. You had the safety. I had a girlfriend. I had my friends here, you know. And you end up being alone in a shitty place, with basically nothing to do and no plans. And my plan was no plan, but I overestimated myself, and man, it was tough, you know. In November, in the west side of France, fuck, you know. When you come back from Malta, it was a pool party for the whole summer, and you arrive, man, in the worst place, you know. And man, nightmare. So my girlfriend didn't want to speak to me anymore. I was drinking all day. It was a nightmare, man. At trading, I lost 15K in like a week, maybe something like that. Yeah, it was not trading anymore. It was just gambling. And so I had maybe like just 2,000, 3,000 left on my bank account. 2,000. And my cousin, this guy is a brilliant guy. And he has a lot of things to say as well, but we are not going to speak right now. But he told me, Ferdinand, listen, there is in Thailand, there is this Wim Hof event for 4 days. It costs 1,000 euro. Man, you should go, you know. So I took half of my bank account. Okay. I put it in, and I already met Wim Hof in the past, but it was just for 1 day. And man, so I went to Thailand. We trained box Thai the first week with my cousin, and I went then to see Wim Hof.
You trained what, sorry?
Box Thai.
Oh,
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai boxing. Nice.
For a week in a center. It was really cool. And man, after, yeah, we went to this. It was like a charity event. It was not like the company of Wim Hof is Inner Fire. And this event was not made by them. It was made by Bring the Elephant Home. It's a charity association. Yeah. And basically, guys, it was 4 days with Wim Hof on a beautiful beach, just 30 people, and doing breathing and ice bath. Now, I give you a little insight. Man, for the first time, I was surrounded by people that I felt really in love with and connected and feeling safe. I saw that those people were not gonna stab me in the back, or I could just be myself. And guys, first breathing with Wim Hof, first round, I started to cry, guys.
Really?
Man,
Wow.
I started to cry. 15 years of crying like that I put it inside. I always been the big guy, you know. I had my little sister, then I was a manager, and and I love this feeling of being the big guy. But I put my feeling on the side. I totally cut with my feelings to protect myself. And man,
It's a common thing in modern society as well, just society, modern or not. I think as a man, you know, it's becoming a lot better, but it's not really the thing to do, is it, to start crying out in public like that? So it's...
Man, you know, when you try to protect yourself, it's just because you're in fear, and you're missing life if you're going in life through fear and you cut your feelings. And what was funny is that so the people around me, I started to cry really like non-stop. The first, you know, like just after one round, and they came to me after and they say, "Oh, Ferdinand, did you had some kind of revelation or you saw something?" And man, I was like, "Yeah, I saw that I'm fucking dumb, you know." I'm dumb and I was weak and I was a motherfucker with people who loved me, and I didn't gave this love back. And since that point, I think I really reconnect like the heart and the brain. Let's say, you know, I really I let myself be who I am. I let my feelings go, and to be honest, guys, it's worth it to have 10% of sadness and feeling it and getting 90% of happiness. Feelings giving you energy, it's giving you authenticity. It makes you remember things as well, because you link an event with an emotion. Before, I was just going through life half drunk, and
you're not alone either. And I'd say, whether in Malta or not, a lot of people in a lot of the big cities are doing exactly the same, going through from weekend to weekend. Let's get to Friday, let's get drunk, let's get fucked up, let's go again at work. So, and not really appreciating anything.
Man, I was in the past I was doing as well a lot of codeine, purple drink, opiace.
Codeine.
Oh,
Codeine,
wow,
codeine.
okay,
Yeah, codeine, tequila. I love this thing.
Everyone has a vice for sure, and we're kind of living in a weird world right now where, you know, it's probably the greatest time in history to be alive.
Yeah.
And even myself, I was guilty of this too, distracting myself, you know, from the good. But what I learned last year was, I guess I think it's part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The new version is going to be on top of intrinsic value, providing value that you can give, and then you'll get value back. And that way really moved me forward. And you kind of touched point as well when you were just talking about, well, I related to all being in the moment, you know. When I learned how to really feel in the moment, very content with myself. So I was distracting myself from the past and gotta do this, I gotta do that, gotta jump here, gotta jump there. But yeah, we're kind of living in a world where gotta make more money, gotta prove my success, gotta put my abs on Instagram, I gotta do this. It's like, guys, just chill out. You should be happy that you have a roof over your head. You're safe. Man,
a friend of mine said, and in Malta, he said, Conrado, he said, fuck the outcome. Fuck the outcome, guys. We are living in a society where only the outcome matter. Fuck this shit. Let's enjoy the journey, you know. Let's enjoy that moment. It's
the outcome.
The outcome.
Oh, the outcome.
The outcome.
Sorry, the outcome. Just
I wrote it down. I like that.
Okay, sorry. My French isn't good.
Sorry to all the guys who are named Outcome.
You mentioned as well, I really like, keep the sadness, and I think that's so true as well, because great music is made from sadness. You know, you can take that energy, and I call it fuel for the fire. You can use that fuel to create something of value. Again, it's all going back to
Definitely. And it's part of life, yin and yang, guys. You know, like there is no happiness if there is no sadness. So it's a fair deal. It's made that way for a reason. Like I'm not religious, you know, but things are very well made. I don't know how it happened, but I know that they are very, very well made. And with a little bit of effort of everyone, we can very quickly turn the world around and go back to what's real. 2 weeks ago, I did a LSD trip for the first time.
Interesting.
And I shared that to Steven the day after. The sentence that stayed in my mind is, guys, enjoy what you have or just die. All the rest is just people trying to build things because they are fearing something. If we were when we were in cave mode, guys, when we were caveman, the first guy who built a fucking wall is someone who was scared of, animals, or he wanted to feel more. Or the first guy who stocked food is because he was maybe scared of not getting enough food the day after. If you know that there is abundance around you, why you need a fridge, And I understand that we need to build things. I'm not blaming the human being. We are made that way. So I'm not saying that we have to do nothing. But guys, few thousand years ago, we had we had beautiful beaches. Not beaches, sorry, in my English. We had beaches too, but beaches, we could make love everywhere. We had our friends around us. We were spending time running in the forest.
You just spend, back then especially, you would spend time building something out of appreciation of the art of doing so. I think the prime example was that even in Malta, if you look around, and for those that are not from Malta, you have the Maltese balcony, and you can see the originals to the ones that were replaced after the war. And the originals have these the support plinths underneath have this incredible artwork that's all been carved out of them.
Yeah.
Because even back then, this is what the turn of the 20th century, they had more time to be able to do things.
Yeah,
like this.
definitely.
And if it's your birthday, I'm like, okay, I like Ferdinand a lot. I'm gonna make this balcony for him, and that's because we're not restricted by. We're so time precious now because it's all about money. And back then and I think the more the human race or society has progressed, it's also digressed in the sense that it's just chasing the dollar sign. Rather than actually seeing, okay, what if I take 5 years to do this? It's going to look amazing.
Guys, I mean, if I don't want to say something wrong, but I think at that time when they were building a cathedral, it takes 300 years. So the guy who said, let's build a cathedral, he will never even see probably half of it.
I think this is where everything's going to change in the future. I think everything is going to come back to community, because I think that's one of the big things we lost as a side effect of, I guess, religion not being as dominant as it used to be, and capitalism being more dominant. But you're starting to see it online. Everyone is getting into a yoga kind of retreat, becoming into the yoga community or the vegan community or the Wim Hof community. Everyone's joining a community. We're craving it.
And I think that's a valid point. And what is interesting is there is also a movement where it comes from digital companies, or I don't know where it's coming from, where they're trying to take things that are community driven, like yoga, like your CrossFits, like gym, where you meet and connect with other people, and put it all on your phone. So that's another reason for you not to leave your house and not to go and interact with another person, and instead you just do it all on your phone and just stay in your little box. Because I don't know why, but it's just something that everyone needs to be aware of and ensure that whilst you can do yoga at home, it's going to be a lot more beneficial if you're out there doing, just get out and move. You need to be moving. Because
people think that they focus on performance, and it's a total mistake. For example, I don't want to say something wrong, but I'm kind of sure that I will be more healthy after this podcast with you guys than I was before, because I'm really having a great time, and the hormones that coming through my head right now are very, very good ones. You were mentioning something, Jamie, before about art. Now, if we look around, it's very things that are made in terms of efficiency. But we are still doing beautiful things. But if you look, for example, at the smartphone, they are very soon looking all the same. I remember a time when our smartphone were really all different. And same for the home and whatever. I think it's very important to come back to value than just like time and money. Man, art is amazing things, like to express. It's an expression of feelings, and I think that people are not taking enough time to just like doing something, even if it's just a little drawing or something on the wall. Or
well, everyone has their own ritual. For me, clicking into the moment is a quick yoga session, maybe some mindfulness. For my girlfriend, it's getting out her coloring book and just coloring. When she's really stressed, she'll just go into the corner, color, and then 10 minutes later, she's like, feel a lot better.
Man, that's great, man. I love that.
Yeah, this thing it's really a part of our culture now. People are like, I got to make more money, but honestly, if you work for a company and you earn a salary, there's only so much you can do without creating value. You're never really going to retire early or really take yourself to the next level. I think it's good for everyone to have certain experiences and learn how to manage people and learn different cultures and workplaces. It's beneficial for a point, but when it burns you out, and you need to move on.
So jumping back to Thailand, so you had this release of energy and these tears, manifested as tears. Then what? And what was next?
So next, guys, was just like a lot of speeches from Wim Hof himself and ice bath. So I don't want to get too much information, but because it was not made by the company, and I know some stuff were a bit like just private stuff, But man, we smashed the ice bath. Everyone. There was some, can I say, old people, without any filter. It's true. They were like 80 and 85, something like that. And man, they stayed minutes in the ice bath. And they went in without any hesitation. In the ice bath, boom, 80 and 85 years old.
Wow.
And a woman and a guy, like a boss, man. And so then we had some kind of little activities. But the main part were like really connecting with people. And basically it was just, being on the beach, doing very simple stuff. And Wim Hof was also teaching us the power of the mind. For example, he taught us how to juggle. How do you say jiggle? Juggle. Thank you. How to juggle. So it just taught more or less 30 people how to juggle in just 20 minutes.
Wow.
And it's more or less about, of course, there is a little bit of technique, but it's also how focused you are, and how your mind is ready to give you what you need to have to do it. And most of us managed, And it was an amazing, again, proof that when you set up your mind and you have the right chemicals and the right setup, you can almost do whatever you want.
So, how has that now impacted your life?
Guys, you're both drinking beer in front of me and I didn't touch one beer. So I deserve a little bit of respect from that. It affects my life in every way possible. I'm back with my girlfriend. And we are doing great. In fact, we are doing very, very good. So I'm not working at the moment. I'm just coaching some guys. Coaching is not even the right word. I'm more sharing the knowledge that I have. I'm sure some people have much more knowledge than me, but I need to share. I feel the need to share what I have.
It's great to do.
And the big part is that I'm appreciating life. And since I don't know, some people speak about the frequency of your body and mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works or not, but since I'm really practicing it and I have the right mindset, I'm loving life so much, guys, and meeting amazing people. During 26 years, I never met cool people before. So I don't want everyone to hate me that I met before. I was just not in the right setup to appreciate who they were and taking them in the way they deserve to be taken, if that makes sense. So I always felt that I met people useless, but I was the one useless, it was my mistake. And now I'm meeting amazing people and I feel that I'm bringing value. They're bringing value to me as well. It's a very fair and really value orientated connections. And we have fun. I have a lot of fun right now. I'm not drinking that much. It made me think about something. When society tells us, guys, stop smoking, stop drinking, you will feel better. Stop gambling, stop whatever addiction. it's true to a certain level, but all the guys that I met in Thailand, most of them were very healthy and eating vegan, for example. I'm not vegan myself, and I spoke with some of them, and basically, what they said is that when you feel happy, you don't want to smoke a joint. It will slow you down. You know, you don't want a beer when you already have an amazing conversation and you're already feeling good, you know? So those guys were much more advanced than me, to be honest, in the well-being. Man, they were all healthy. Most of them. Like, they were very healthy and they were more or less vegan and not smoking, not drinking much. Almost not drinking at all. I was the only one with my cousin and a friend who we went into a pickup truck and we went to have some beer at the bar. We were the only one, you know.
I'd need to I'd be guilty.
Yeah, man.
Need to jazz that party up.
Man, beer are amazing, you know.
I must ask. So this workshop, was it a week?
It was 4 days. 4 days.
I feel like, you know, I've accomplished similar types of milestones, but it's probably taken me 2 years, and I'm a big fan of reading books. But it started to make me think, if I just invested maybe in a workshop like that, you know, it might have just fast-tracked everything for me, you know, because you're 24/7 doing this for a few days with, well, you can say professionals in a way, or people with a lot of experience. And like, really, you said it was like €1,000. Over 2 years, that would be like €40 a month.
Yeah.
So I guess the point is, for people out there listening who might be struggling, invest a little bit of a percentage of your salary in your health, whether it's a workshop or something else. I think I'm going to start doing that more. I did it on the business side of things, and it did help quite a bit, but I think you've kind of inspired me now to invest in workshops.
Would you, from your experience, do you think it was more impactful because you went alone? Just to say, I was like, Stephen, right, let's go to Thailand, let's go and do this thing. Do you think it's...
So I went with my cousin.
Oh, really? Okay. So it didn't impact.
I went with my cousin. That is someone that I respect and look up to as well. He is 6 years older than me, and a brilliant guy. And I think sharing is a very important part. What you have to do, in my opinion, is to go with as many people as you want, but people that you can trust, you know, people that you can feel good with. If you have any kind of, if you have to hold back, I don't know, let's say you are going with your boss, let's say you are working as an employee, you're going with your boss, as much as you love him, you will not be able to really let it go because you have too much consequences that can happen if you are saying something wrong, you know. Just go with people that you love and people that you trust. So you, Jamie and Stephen, it should work.
So as long as you hold my hand.
Good. You're gonna cry. Bring some tissue.
I'm happy with crying now. I'm kind of I'm accepting the fact that it's actually quite good to do.
It is good to do, to get that release. Everyone feels the endorphins after. I'm not gonna lie. It's true. I must ask you a stupid question, but what's the longest ice bath you've done, or has that been the goal, or?
So I did. So when we went into the ice bath, we forgot to switch on the timer. We were the guys, you know, and but some people, then we started the timer, so it's between 15 and 20 minutes so far. I'm sure I can do more, but again, guys, gradually.
And when does hypothermia tend to hit generally? Is it after 5 minutes, 8 minutes, something?
Man, I have this story, I don't know from where I heard it, that someone got locked up in, like this freezing room for meat. And basically, in the morning, the guys find him dead from hypothermia. And what they found out is that the room was not even switched on. This guy of course, the room was cold, but his brain did the thing. You know, it was cold, the brain triggered hypothermia, because he was feeling cold, of course, the room was already cold. And man, he just died from hypothermia. And I don't remember from where I heard the story, but I'm sure we can find it on Google. It can happen, man. Hypothermia can happen to everyone. People who are homeless, even in Paris, when it's not that cold, you know, if you compare to Finland or whatever. Yeah. People are dying from hypothermia.
Well, an interesting one, if that's a subject that people are really kind of concerned about, I did see a Wim Hof 20-minute documentary on Vice where he took kind of a little workshop of people and put them in like a freezing lake in Poland in the middle of winter. And everyone was like, we're going to die from hypothermia. And he's like, I will give you the method to gradually train you in there. And he did this kind of breathing technique that you can watch online for free, guys. that they got through it, and it's really, I think it maybe adrenaline in a way really helped them out. But yeah, it worked. Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier you're now leaving Malta. What's next for Ferdinand for the next 12 to 24 months?
So next week, guys, I'm going to Netherlands for the official formation to become a Wim Hof instructor.
Wow.
So I will finally be officially, certified and having the certification.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, sure.
Let us know how you get on.
Definitely, guys. I will with pleasure. So yeah, I'm going there next week. Then I'm back in France for a little bit. I want with my girlfriend to have a little month of chilling, and then we go to Valencia in Spain. Why Valencia? You will tell me. It just seems so peaceful. I love learning also languages, so I will learn Spanish. I will just have a great time.
Nice. And what are the plans then for you once you become an instructor?
So I definitely want to focus on value. Even me, for example, that's a very good question. My brain, where society impacted me, for example, I was really money orientated, as you mentioned before. I was really like that, focusing only on, what I can get out of it, out of something. Now, I still teaching my brain, in fact, to remove this bullshit about making money or making money is fine, guys. I'm not blaming anyone for making money. I'm just saying let's bring value and making money on the way. So my goal is to start to do, of course, some workshop to teach some people, but I will really try to spread the word a little bit at the beginning. Even this morning I did a coaching with a friend. I'm not making any money out of it. I knew him since a year. I just I did it with him. I want to, of course, live out of this activity, but let's change the world, guys. Let's change this fucking world. This will not take too long.
Wow. Cool. I think we'll wrap up there. So you've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, guys. It's called Ferdinand Journey.
Ferdinand
Journey.
As in Johnny Bravo.
I did a beautiful journey.
Journey.
Okay,
that's fine. So Ferdinand Journey.
Yeah. So it's just some videos about a little bit what happened to me, a little bit about the Wim Hof method, and I just hope, this podcast, guys, that it will help some people, and entertain as well on the way. The goal is to have fun.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And if people want to reach out to you directly, that's the best way to do it, or is that your Instagram or something?
So, guys, with my first name and last name, Ferdinand Mo, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So feel free,
And we'll put the links in the description as well. Ferdinand, personally, I think this is great to meet you. Really, really, really insightful. There's kind of exercises that I really want to take on myself, and it'll be great to be on the journey with you. As you progress over the next 12 months or beyond. So definitely stay in touch. If you come back, then reach out, and we'll.
Guys, we are.
I think we'll be doing videos in the next series onwards. So you'll be able to get your handsome outlook on video too.
I mean, Steven, Jamie, you're currently doing something amazing, and I believe that we are in the same team.
Yeah.
We are working in the same way, and we definitely stay in touch. And anyone who wants to also be part of this movement, feel free to reach out with them and with me. We are all welcome, guys.
Brilliant. Thanks again. Cool. So please do share our journey as well. We are dosed, so we need your help to kind of share this with other people.
Sure.
And feedback is always welcome. So please feedback so we can shape this the best we can.
And remember, fuck the outcome.
Okay. Cheers, guys. Ciao.
Bye, cheers.